Good evening, everyone. My name's Ethan Howard. For those who don't know me, first of all, shame on you. Where have you been all day? This is the wedding, folks. I'm just kidding. Nick and I have known each other since we were wee, young lads growing up in Minnesota, playing football, baseball, basketball, all sorts of sports together. Luckily, we were always on the same team, so I didn't kick his butt, but finally, after 23 years, Nick admits I'm the best man. So, as long as we got that done, I hope you've all had a lovely evening so far at this beautiful reception and continue to have a wonderful evening moving on. Today, we celebrate the joining of two halves. One would say it's a left and right Twix union or a peanut butter and jelly union. Two halves that fit together perfectly and complete each other. That's definitely true with Nick and Kate. But if I could point out who the lucky one in this relationship is, it's definitely Nick, okay? That man married up. Am I right? Yeah. He scored big time, so cheers to that man. Nick actually has always been good at scoring big his whole life. Growing up together, playing football, right when we entered high school, both of us were gunning for the wide receiver position. As freshmen, you do two-a-days, which are just terrible. 6 hours a day in the blasting sun, little to no water, just working and working on your form, your position, and everything as a whole. I've always been taller than Nick. I always thought I was faster than Nick. But somehow Nick was always better at football than me. And I was always jealous. We would be out there doing the same drills every day. And somehow he would always be, to the ball quicker than me. And he would always be faster off the line than me. And it kind of frustrated me growing up. I always wondered, why is Nick so dang good at football? Is it his natural skill or something? In fact, I actually started watching Nick after our freshman year, just to see what he was really doing. Why was he better than me? And, most of us after those two-a-days would throw our helmets down, our pads in the locker room and head home, just beat. But not Nick, right? Nick actually stayed after practice, running drills almost every single day freshman year. That man was the hardest working kid on the football team, I think, in our whole high school. He worked so hard sophomore year. Nick, he went on the varsity team. He scored big. He was one of the top scorers in our whole high school for wide receivers. And it shows a lot of his character, his hard work. So Kate, I know if Nick works as hard in your marriage as he did on the football field, which I know he will, you guys will have the best marriage, right? Nick will work hard, just like he always has in his life, to be the best husband to you and to make your marriage, your union, the best it can be. Growing up, I was always the one who was making the crank calls, or I was TPing our neighbors' houses on sleepovers. I was always trying to get Nick to do these rebellious acts. But Nick was he was always a straight shooter. He knew what he wanted. And he always kind of kept pulling me back to the right path. And even one time I accidentally made a crank call at the church, and the police called back and they said, "Hey, who's calling on the phone?" And Nick explained to the cops what was going on, and he just sat me down and said, "Hey, look, we're doing scouts. We both want to be Eagle Scouts." And he just continually led me back to being the best version of myself. And he was always a loyal and true friend. So Nick, I want to give a cheers to you for being a better man than me, the best man. I know you'll be loyal, you'll be true, and you'll always bring your family back to the right. And with your hard work and your good looks and your swagger, I know you guys will go amazing places. So if everybody could join me, cheers to Nick, cheers to Kate on their eternal marriage. And I love both of you, and I know you guys will have the best family. Cheers.